I know what flaming time it is, but you're not going out of this house without a drink of tea inside.
All right, I just don't want Billy Walker going down my throat for being late, that's
yes,
all.
well, pride won't fill your belly until lunchtime, will it?
Neither will humble pie.
Oh, would you credit me that one morning I've got to be on the dot,
Now,
and we'll
look,
get up late.
Don't get flustered. If you played right today, you could do yourself a favour.
Oh, I'm doing Mavis Sidlow a favour. There's nought in it for me.
Well, if I thought that was true, I wouldn't let you do it.
Oh, you are a cynic, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I don't know.
Look, Elsie, it's the first opportunity you've had to solve a problem since you've been promoted. Now, if you play your cards right, when promotion comes along, you're going to be set up. Am I right or wrong?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know. Look, love, they're selling cosmetics. They're not running a door-to-door problems page. All right?
All right. You better get off. You've got a buster face as well.
Billy Walker, eat people like that for breakfast.
Yeah, that might be all you get.
Good luck.
Oh, look who it is, and Anthony Quinn and Ailey Mills. Hey? Where's your steel band?
Hey, now, hold on a bit, Emma.
When are you
hold
off
on.
then?
And look
it
here.
sounds marvellous, Jamaica. What wouldn't I give to be going with you?
And me, especially this weather.
Oh, I don't know, you all seem to be very keen to get rid of us, but nobody has said we're going yet.
We certainly haven't. Oh, well, there was a woman coming from Inkerman Street. She said that you've been gone a week already. She should know.
Yeah.
and
You know,
Auntie
wouldn't it be
to-
nice? Wouldn't it be nice if one could keep one's private affairs private just for once?
Some out round here.
I don't suppose it's any different even in Jamaica. Congratulations,
Oh,
anyway.
thank you.
Oh, I must say, the Caribbean's always been a thing with me. Overtones of James Bond and all that.
James Bond thought he was Scottish.
No, that's Sean Connery.
Ian Fleming, you know, used to set a lot of it in the Caribbean. Dr. No and Thunderball.
Ah, so that's what we find under your pillow. Sexy spy boots.
I'm afraid not. You'd find a rather thick Winsett nightie right now, and you won't be needing one of those in Jamaica.
What?
I'm just saying it's a coincidence.
What's a coincidence?
Well, you being so hospitable all of a sudden.
That's not a coincidence. A coincidence is two things. This is only one thing happening.
No, it's not. Not when Val's most likely moving to Jamaica, it's not.
Yeah, well, maybe she is and maybe she isn't. It's just an idea. And your road, it's got no to do with me. It's just a coincidence.
Well, there you are. That's what you're saying.
But, Minute, that's what you're saying.
Yes, well, there you are.
Oh, wait. Now look what you've got undone. You've gotten it in all my toast.
Well, there's plenty if you're quick enough.
That's it. That's done. I've had enough.
Come on, Handel. I know when we're not wanted. Thank you very much, Albert, for having us. But I don't think three people can get on in these houses.
Oh, wait, will you stop it, Mum? Come and sit down and stop creating.
Well, I thought I heard you say you'd had enough.
Well, breakfast. I mean, I've had enough breakfast.
Oh, well, very well then.
Yeah, and I like having you. I want you to stop.
Do you?
Of course I do.
Oh, well, that's all right then. It was just a misunderstanding.
That's
Could you force a piece of toast?
Now, that's more like it.
You know, there's one thing I appreciate about being retired, is being able to have your breakfast at your leisure like.
I'm sorry, Albert.
What?
You've run out of bread.
Oh, like.
Mrs. Howard's arrived, Mrs. Painter.
Oh, send her in, will you, Jenny?
Would you come in, Mrs. Howard, please?
I'm sorry I'm late, Mrs. Painter. The traffic on Market Street. I had to get off and walk.
That's quite all right, Mrs. Howard. These things happen.
I hope I haven't wasted too much of your time.
No. I can always find uses for my own time. And I never blame other people if I waste it. Do sit down.
Could I,
Yes, Mrs. Painter.
Would you take Mrs. Howard's coat?
Yes.
You sit down, Mrs. Howard. Now then, I must be very brief, I'm afraid. Upstairs, I've called a sales committee meeting in half an hour, and among the areas they'll want to know about is yours. Now then, I want to be able to tell them that this little patch of downhill figures here is about to swing right up again, and I'm sure that you do too. Did you see Mrs. Sidlow?
Yes, I did.
Well?
Well, it seems she had a bit of trouble. Her husband's gone off and left her. Well, she's got her problems.
That's what she said to you. Fine. Now, what I really want to know is what you said to her.
What I said... Well, what could I say? I said we'd do the best we could.
Oh. Marital problems are not really our business, you know, Mrs. Howard. What about her returns?
Well, that's why. It does explain it.
Mrs. Howard, explanations are not necessarily remedies, you know. Very often they're merely excuses. Now, we all of us make excuses. If you'll forgive my saying so, the traffic in Market Street this morning was probably just the same as any other morning.
Well,
I'm not getting at you, but you do see my point. Now, did you make it clear to Mrs. Sidlow?
Yes, I did. I told her exactly what you would have done. I said it was in her own best interest to get the round back up to scratch again as soon as possible.
Good. You pointed out that her keeping the agency does depend on that.
Yes. She will need a bit of time to pull herself together, you know.
Time? Well, that's one of the things that head office doesn't supply me with, you know. Yes? All right, yes, I've gotten here. Oh, straight away. Now, Mrs. Howard, I want you to see Mrs. Sidlow again, and I want you to make it absolutely plain this time. She's got 2 weeks. If things are not back to normal, and preferably a little better, she's out. I can't deal with the rest of this now. It'll come back this afternoon.
I'm far from finished, Mrs. Painter.
I'm sorry, I do have the appointment, you know. Janet, will you fetch Mrs. Howard's coat?
This afternoon, you might have told me.
I just have.
Sooner. Will he be staying for tea?
I don't know, but I shall ask him, so you better get something in just in case, eh? Oh, and I must warn you that he can go on a bit, come Brian. I mean, if you think I've got the gift of the gab. So make sure he doesn't sink too much sherry, right?
Well, I hope it's going to be worth it. How long was he there?
3 years. Hello, dear man. How you doing there, Uncle Albert?
Hello, love. And did he like it?
Hear it from him.
From who?
Chap from Tech who was in Jamaica for a while.
Oh, and he doesn't reckon much to it then?
Quite the contrary.
Oh.
Well, I didn't do you any, because I thought with you, well, with Minnie to see to you, you got her nicely installed.
Yes, but I don't like being dependent on other folk, not family.
You'll have to learn to compromise a bit, Uncle Albert.
Oh, does that mean then that you're set on going?
Not quite, so stop looking like we've thrown you to the wolves, will you?
The wolves?
Anyway, the Wildlife Preservation Society said that we couldn't throw you to the wolves, so it'll just have to be Bobby, I'm afraid.
Oh, very comical.
Oh, Ken, don't be flippant. He's bound to be concerned.
Well, anyway, we've not made up our minds yet.
Of course, for myself, I'd advise you to go.
Would you?
Well, at your age, I mean, it's not like seeing the world, and you would benefit from it, if there were only yourselves.
Which there is.
Well, I was thinking about the twins.
The twins? Well, great place for them to grow up, Jamaica.
Yeah, as far as it goes.
Hey?
Well, I mean, they're English.
We like to think so, yeah.
Yeah, well, and you want them to grow up English.
But, Uncle Albert, they will grow up English. They'll just have a very healthy suntan, that's all.
Oh, no, you don't see what I mean. Being English doesn't mean just being
Yeah,
born...
all right, Uncle Albert, all right. I take your point, and I'll give it very serious thought.
Oh, well, all right. So long as you don't think that I'm only thinking about myself, I'll be all right.
You'll be laughing, Uncle Albert. You just keep Minnie buttered up and you'll have no trouble at all.
Have you done with them?
Yes, you can have them if you want.
Oh, thank you. I'll be seeing you.
Well, there you are, Mrs. Sidlow. As far as charm is concerned, you've got 2 weeks.
That's what she said.
Uh-huh. Oh, don't think I don't sympathise, but she has got a point, you know. I suppose you really do need the money. Yeah, of course you do. Daft question. Well, I tell you what. I'll do 2 things for you. First of all, I'll give you some advice, and I know from experience it's good advice. Thing is, stop feeling sorry for yourself and get off your backside. That's the first thing. Second thing, I'll see Mrs. Painter for you. I have an idea I can swing it.
Can you?
Yes, I think so, love.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Howard.
Oh, that's all right. Do what I can. Well, now, I think you best be off, love.
Right.
Dinner ready? Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking business?
Oh, it's all right, love. We're just finished now.
Well, I'll wait to hear them, will I?
Well, give us a ring tonight. Better still, if you feel like it, call round.
Right. Well, I'll do that then. Bye.
Bye.
You know, it's daft she thinks of me as her boss.
Well, what's daft about that?
Yes, technically, I suppose.
No, love. Either you are or you aren't. And if you are, it's about time you started behaving as if you were. And remember what I said about favors? Don't give any away, and don't make any promises.
Mrs. Howard. You've seen to Mrs. Sidlow,
Yes, I've seen to her.
so we can move on at last.
Yes, we can go straight ahead.
Cases like this do take up a disproportionate amount of time, don't they?
Yes, I suppose they must.
Now then, those are the analysed returns from your agents for the last couple of months. It's our new system, you see. We've included a set of average figures from the whole country, so you can see.
Half a moment. Sorry.
The blue line is you.
Oh, that's me, is it? Oh, well, it looks all right to me. We're not doing so badly, are we?
Well, you weren't. You are down badly just at the end there.
Oh, yes. Well, of course, you can't expect to flog a lot of stuff just after Christmas.
Which is precisely why we should all make a very special effort, don't you think? Even the Mrs. Sidlows of this world.
Have you ever tried selling this stuff to women who are up to here in bath cubes and talcum powder, till it's coming out of their ears nearly?
I have. That's rather good.
Oh, well, if you like twisting their arms, I don't.
Mrs. Howard, if your heart's not in it, you're absolutely free to leave the business.
I didn't say that.
No. Now, you've got another problem, lady, here, Mrs. Doreen Lindsay. She's new, and I think it might be the best thing to keep a close eye on her for a while.
How close is close?
Well, that's up to you. You might almost go out on her round with her next week. You might be able to guide her a little.
Well, I don't know if I can. I promised I might do something like that for Mrs. Sidlow, and I can't do them both.
Mrs. Sidlow? I honestly thought we'd finished with Mrs. Sidlow.
Well, we have. It's just that I thought I might go with her to get a roundup again. It's the same sort of thing as you suggested for Mrs.
Mrs. Lindsay. Now, look. Mavis Sidlow is experienced enough to operate quite adequately without supervision. Mrs. Lindsay, on the other hand, may very well benefit from it. If you go out with Mrs. Sidlow, you'll be nothing more than a watchdog. We can't afford watchdogs.
Well, I thought just to get her back on her feet again, you know. I thought I might flog it myself.
No, I'm sorry, that's even worse. You're paid to organize the area. Now, look. You see that she starts selling on her own, or dismiss her. It's as simple as that.
Do you have to pressurize her like this?
You don't like it.
I can't say that I do.
And just before, you were accusing me of pressure selling, twisting people's arms. You didn't approve of that, either.
No.
Mrs. Howard, I've taken the trouble to read your file. You used to work for Miami Modes, hmm?
Yes, I did.
Miami Modes. That shop and others like it just about invented pressure selling. Miami Modes should have a plaque up to commemorate it. Is it pressure selling or is it downright dishonesty to sell a size 12 dress to a size 14 customer? Or did you never do that? Did you never make discreet little adjustments to the back of a frock? Oh, but it suits Madam down to the ground, when all the time it suits Madam like a 3-day beard.
All of which has nothing to do with Mavis Sidlow.
No, it isn't. As far as I'm concerned, she's caused quite enough trouble. She's fired.
Oh. Well, I hope you're going to tell her yourself. You don't expect me to do your dirty work.
I do expect you to. You're her immediate superior.
Well, in that case, you know what you can do.
Well, you leave me absolutely no choice. Consider yourself sacked, Mrs. Howard.
Oh, God, is there no end to it? Mind your feet.
But why should we go through this performance just because somebody's coming? I mean, the place is always a bit of a mess. Why don't we just admit it?
It'd be a darn sight worse mess if I didn't do this, and I know it would be the first to complain. And in case you hadn't noticed, I do clear it up every day, you know, not just when your friends are coming.
If we went to Jamaica, we could have a housekeeper. But I'm not sure that my scruples would let me.
Oh, blow your scruples.
I think Brian had a housekeeper.
Well, then.
Good. Val, this is Brian. Brian, Val.
How do you do?
Right, sit down. Let me get you something to drink. There must be something left over from Christmas.
Yes, thanks. It's nice to meet you at last, Mrs. Barlow.
Oh, Val, please.
Val, where's the sherry, love?
The sherry?
Yes, love, the sherry.
I put it under the sink.
Put it under the...
You must have heard of me. Well, I deliver my standard lecture on Jamaica, do
Wait till you've had a drink.
Oh, that sounds awful, as if we've only invited you round to, you know.
Well, we have, haven't we, Brian?
Oh, you made it quite plain. Come and do your Jamaica lecture, Brian, he said, but don't stay too long.
How long were you there?
3 years.
And why did you come back, or did you not intend staying?
Oh, quite the reverse. No, my wife fell ill. We had to come back.
Oh, what a pity. Jamaica's just, well, bananas to me, I suppose. And I know the sunshine.
Well, you'd have to go a long way to beat the climate. It stays about 80 odd.
All the time?
It's cooler if you go up into the mountains.
Oh, no, we're going to a bay. Where was it, Ken?
Montego Bay.
Montego Bay. Is that where you were?
Oh, no, you're joking. No, we were in Kingston. Montego Bay's round the other end. But we went round there once.
And what's that like?
You mean you've never heard of it?
No.
It has to be one of the most beautiful places in the world. Trouble is, the millionaires have just taken it over. It's all swank hotels and Dolce Vita, enormous American cars all over the place, and fat men sitting in cane chairs, drinking their cafe cognac and looking out over the bay as if they own it, which just happens to be true.
Gosh, it sounds fantastic.
Well, Montego Bay isn't all of Jamaica. Wait till I tell you, you got another drop of
Oh,
this. Ken.
sure, yeah, you go ahead, officer.
What a pity your wife couldn't come round. I'd like to...
Yes, it is a pity. She died, you see.
Oh. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, but she loved it out there. She thought it was really marvelous. And if it wasn't for the kids, I'd go back like a shot.
The kids? Do you not think it's a good place for kids?
For kids, great place. But 3 kids are a handful on your own, and I need Margaret's mother. She's one in a million, my mother-in-law. But as I was saying, Jamaica, the real Jamaica. I've never known people like them. Are you sure you want me to start?
Right away, yes, you go ahead now.
Well, you know that what we call Jamaicans were originally slaves from Africa, brought over by the Spaniards, after Columbus discovered it. The original inhabitants were Arawaks. In fact, the name Jamaica is an Arawak word meaning Isle of Streams.
No, thank you. Not tipped, Mrs. Clegg. I happen to prefer plain, and today I feel like indulging a preference.
Getting reckless, isn't it?
Ooh, throwing his money about like a man with no arms. What is it? Had a stroke of luck?
I don't believe in luck anymore. It's sheer hard work.
Well, Ken was in here this morning. Should ask him about luck. Job in Jamaica.
And I've heard all about it. If I was in his shoes, I'd jump at it. But I think Elsie Tan and I are getting a little long in the tooth to think about emigrating.
Hey, how is she, by the way? I haven't seen her all day.
Oh, she's fine. She's finding out how the other side lives.
Hey?
She's joined the administrative set ever since they made her district whatever it is with the firm.
Oh, she's doing all right, though, isn't she?
She's doing all right. See you later.
Okay.
But this morning you said I had 2 weeks.
Well, you haven't got 2 weeks now, love. You've got the boot.
But what about what you said?
Oh, for crying out loud, didn't you hear me?
You mean if you hadn't gone back, it'd have been all right?
If I hadn't tried so hard. Anyway, you're lucky. You haven't got a husband to face.
Wow.
Well, look, love, I'm not your boss anymore, so there isn't anything else I can do for you. So I'd best be off if I were you.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to do now. It's a good job I've got Lionel.
Right. You're lucky. My son's a long way away.
He's not my son, he's me. You know.
Your boyfriend?
You could call him that.
Oh. And how long's this been going on?
Well, you know.
No, I don't know. You come round here, you give me a heartbreaking story that your husband's left you, a real tearjerker. Now, how long has Uncle Lionel been on the scene?
Well, I had to tell you that, didn't I? Well, I thought I might lose my job. I had to.
Your husband did leave you, didn't he? You didn't leave him by any chance.
Oh, no, he left me all right.
When?
A while ago, really.
You what? A while ago?
About a year. Well, I had to try. It was my only chance. I had to tell you. It was me job, Elsa.
Mrs. Sidlow, if you ever want to see Uncle Lionel again, you better shift.
Oh, well, I mean, you're all right, aren't you?
Before
You went
I
in with that
disfigure
lot.
you, before I wrap this round your neck, Mrs. Sidlow.
Well, what would you have done?
I mean it! Well done, Elsie.
Oh, Ken, decide.
Who can decide?
He did say that the hurricanes missed Jamaica, didn't he?
Well, you say that most of them do, but every so often, well, you know, high winds in Jamaica.
What's that?
There's a book made into a film with Anthony Quinn and Hayley Mills.
Oh, that's what Irma was going on about.
Yeah, intrigue.
No, I've been trying to fathom it out all day. Well, you're not a bit like Anthony Quinn.
Oh, I don't know. If I didn't shave for a couple of days.
Look, we're doing it again, getting nowhere.
It's all about pirates, actually, Highwind and Jamaica. You know, I think I'm going to feel a bit of a pirate, accepting the sort of money he's got going.
Yes, there is that when all's said and done. Oh, Ken, decide.
Right.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
If it comes down heads, we go. Tails, we go anyway. How's that then?
So we've made the decision. We're going. Definite.
Now, don't you undermine me. We're going.
We're going.
My God. We are. We're going!
Hello, love.
Why, I didn't expect you home so soon. I thought you were working overtime every night this week.
I've got a telephone calling from Mr. Vine, the accountant, you know?
I haven't got you any tea ready or anything.
That's all right, love. I don't mind waiting. Different tale for Mr. Vine this evening, eh? We're really getting out from under.
Alan, as I didn't manage to get out to the shops, would something from the chippy do you?
Oh, again?
Well, I think I've got a can of ravioli or something.
Look, no. We'll go out later and get something. Give ourselves a modest pat on the back.
Oh, no, I'll open that tin now. You need something now, Alan. Alan, you know I went to see Mrs. Painter this afternoon.
I thought you went this morning.
Yes, I know. She asked me to go back this afternoon.
That's why you missed the shops. Anyway, what happened?
Well,
That's him, excuse me. Talking about Peter Vine, he's always punctual. Hello, Alan Howard here. Hello, Peter. Yes, I'm fine, thanks. Thanks for sending the statement. Makes rather better reading, doesn't it? Ah, you wet blanket. You wouldn't believe it was true, would you? No, not planning to do anything rash. As a matter of fact, I think I can give you another 100.
No, Alan.
Hang on.
No.
Get the bank book out of my jacket pocket, will you now? Yes, I know. It's all right. It's all in the bank book. Yes, so these days it makes my favorite reading. Oh, she's fine, thanks. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for some of her contributions, we wouldn't be in this.
Alan, you can't give him another £100. There'll be no more contributions from me. I got the sack today.
Peter, can I call you back in a few moments? Yes, I'm sorry. You got the sack?
Yes, after all, you said to me this morning I go and talk myself out of a job.
Over Mrs. Blasted Sidlow. Oh, that's it, isn't it? That's it.
Oh, go on and slap me round the face or summit.
Why bother? I don't know why I bother at all. Who cares?